Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacey Dredd. This astrology report is for the week of February 3rd, and I come to you this week a brand new person, or so it feels to me. I was terribly sick last week with a high fever and a flu, and I was sicker than I have been in a very, very long time. It was intense, and it just couldn't be any more perfect with my personal astrology to be going through major, major changes and upgrades. And that is how I feel after that illness burning through my body. It detoxed parts of myself that I didn't even know that I needed detox from. It was a very forceful event that ended up being highly benevolent for my body. Wow. I feel like the entire chemistry of my system has changed. I don't have some of the same cravings for foods as I was, sugar, caffeine, all of that. I didn't eat for many days. My whole system had basically a fast. I lost tons of weight, and I come to you today a brand new person with a brand new perspective and body chemistry. So, wow, something big is happening right now. And there has been some major changes since I spoke to you last. We have Neptune, a very slow moving planet. Neptune takes 160 years to move from one part of the zodiac around the cycle to that same spot again. Neptune has moved out of the sign of Pisces and into Aries for good. We are into the new paradigm shift, and Neptune is very representative of our hopes and our dreams and our desires and the places that we're dreaming into in life. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and this 0-degree Aries point is also known as the world point. And so it creates these big changes, big waves of change to the greater communities, to greater society. And we're going to see Saturn indeed catching up and moving over this 0-degree point here very soon within the month of February. And then on February 20th, Saturn is going to catch up with Neptune, and they're going to conjunct. And that means these two planets are going to come together, blending their energies. Saturn is making its way through the last degree of Pisces. So we are not done with these endings. We're going to see a Mercury retrograde in Pisces coming up soon enough. Also, the North Node still in Pisces, strengthening these endings that are taking place and dissolving out any of the details that aren't needed anymore. So, very interesting astrology taking place in the month of February. And this is also leading us up to February 17th, which is going to be, well, we've actually already entered the eclipse cycle. Okay. We just had that big, beautiful Leo full moon. You can still see it in the sky. Holy moly, what an inspirational moon that was. And I actually was inspired and wrote a poem yesterday that I am going to read toward the end of this show. It was inspired after having ceremony with my goddess friends and being in some extremely charged up waters underneath that full moon. But the eclipse cycle has begun. We are into the eclipses, which means that the next new moon we have is going to be very close to the North Node of destiny. That is what creates the eclipses, this proximity to the lunar nodes. And the North Node brings things into our life. So we are going to see the eclipses bringing in some fresh, new, awakening energy leading up to February 17th. Then we have a very, very powerful planetary conjunction between Saturn and Neptune at the 0-degree point of Aries. Again, a very strong point for personal new beginnings and for new beginnings on the world stage. So, very cool stuff. Glad I made it back. And we begin the week on February 3rd with the moon in Virgo. The moon in Virgo is a more grounded type of energy. When the moon is moving through a sign, that is the general mood that we're feeling. Virgo is the sign of detox. It's the sign of purging and cleaning and making to-do lists and taking care of things in a step-by-step fashion. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is at the final degrees of Aquarius. In Aquarius, with all the other planets in Aquarius, having an Aquarius party. See, Aquarius is an air sign, and Mercury, being in an air sign, creates, it stimulates a lot of thinking, it stimulates a lot of conversation, thoughts, ideas. And with Aquarius energy, it's going to be revolutionary thinking, a type of revelation that takes place in Aquarius. And it's all about change and surprises and awakening. And so this Mercury is inching its way towards the final degrees of Aquarius and is going to be stimulated underneath this Virgo moon until the moon shifts on February 5th. So if there's, overstimulated thinking going on, lots of extra conversation, most likely it's in a nice grounded fashion because of Virgo. It's going to be able to keep itself more organized. And then also on February 3rd, the moon is conjuncting with the South Node in Virgo. So as I mentioned, North Node's in Pisces. That puts the South Node directly across the zodiac in Virgo. And the moon, Mars and the moon are both making aspects to the South Node on Tuesday the 3rd, which creates this kind of vacuum effect. The South Node wants to suck things out of our life, make endings, things come to completion there. So we feel a lot of this type of South Node vacuum void type of energy on Tuesday the 3rd. On February 3rd, we also have a very main event for the week, and this is the planet Uranus stationing direct. Uranus has been moving backwards in retrograde through the last few degrees of Taurus, about 29, 28, and it's stopping and stationing at 27 degrees, 27 minutes of Uranus. 27, 27. This is a number 9 and a number 9, and 9 plus 9 it equals 9 again. 9 is a very magical number. And so this Uranus stationing at 2727, very powerful, bringing in this 9 energy. That's another ending type of energy. Okay. So 9 leads to 10. 10's the new beginning, but 9s are the endings. And Uranus is going to be moving through these final degrees of Taurus. Uranus, another slow moving planet. It takes 82 years for Uranus to travel around the zodiac to the same place again. So for a lot of us, we're not going to see Uranus in Taurus again for the remainder of our lives. So Taurus, this is the sign of possessions, okay, our material possessions. Taurus is also a sign of providing. It's the provider. It's like a herd type of energy, and a herd mentality wants to make sure that the entire herd is provided for and taken care of. Taurus, another grounded earth energy, is the fixed earth sign, where Virgo is the mutable earth sign. that is more flexible and allows for more change. Taurus is the fixed earth sign. It likes to sit very still and to not be pushed. And Taurus knows how to really dig in and say, it's not time for me yet. Okay. Taurus knows when it's time for them. It's very difficult to push a Taurus to do anything that they don't want to do. They will only do it when they are ready. Uranus stationing right here. Uranus is the planet of awakening. It's the sign that it's the planet that rules the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius has a huge party going on right now. We have Pluto, Mars, the Sun, Venus, and Mercury in Aquarius currently. And with the ruling planet Uranus stationing direct, we are feeling it very, very strongly. And it's having an impact on this Aquarius party. It's pushing all of this Aquarius energy to take action, or maybe to dig its hooves in, right? Because it's bringing in that Taurus energy, that fixed energy, that stubbornness that Taurus is. These final degrees, 27, 28, 29 of Taurus, check in your birth chart and see if this is going to be affecting you personally. And this is a good place to look and see what house this is in your chart, what planets or points this could be affecting, and what area of your life you are looking to have this party dig in your hooves and have this great awakening. And that is stimulating this big Aquarius party that's going on, stimulating us to awaken, to make change, to be flexible, and to awaken all of the senses here, as all the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Mars are all within this energy. So we're going to be feeling this Uranus stationing direct all week, sitting very still, and takes a while to get moving again. And so making these completion points here in this final degrees of Taurus also. So things that still need to be coming to completion and ending to lean in there. As we move to February 4th, we have Venus in a sextile with Chiron. This is easy flowing energy. Venus is love and money and trust and our value systems and art and the beautiful things, the pleasurable things. And a sextile is a smooth, harmonious aspect. Chiron is the wounded healer. So when we get this type of sextile with Chiron, usually it brings in some really easy flowing healing energy into whatever it's making an aspect with. Here, it's Venus. So it's bringing in healing, easy flowing energy to our heart space, to our money flow, to our value systems, and to the pleasurable things in life. On February 5th, the moon shifts the mood into Libra out of Virgo. We have more air energy here. And so Libra is an air sign and is more about relationships and the other person, and can be focused a lot on the other and our connections with others. Libra is also the sign of balance and harmony and fairness, diplomacy. Okay, so we have this mood of taking in different perspectives and listening to the different sides of the story before making a judgment. But Libra can tend to be quite indecisive as well. It's just like, I need to just hear one more viewpoint. Let's just look up one more piece of information. Let's just have one more little conversation about that, where some other, signs are much more decisive and much more about action. Libra is about kind of hanging back and taking in different perspectives, and it can tend to be quite indecisive. And then also on February 5th, the Sun is making an inconjunct, which is 5 signs apart from Jupiter. We're making some big adjustments, our personal identity being challenged, but not by active means. Okay. This is like, we just kind of have to sit with things and make some pretty large adjustments on Thursday the 5th. On February 6th, Mercury moves out of Aquarius and into Pisces. We're going to be seeing all of these planets, minus Pluto, all the personal planets in the sun moving into Pisces over the next couple of weeks. Well, minus Mars. Mars will take a little bit longer. But the movement into Pisces starts with our mind. Mercury represents our mind, our thinking. And so we get a change of our thought processes. Pisces can bring in more confusion and delusiveness. It can be hard to really see detail, but it's a very compassionate sign. And I mentioned Mercury is going to be making the retrograde from 22 to 8 degrees of Pisces. So we're going to be, once Mercury is there on the 6th, we're going to be there for a while, getting comfortable. On the 7th, the moon moves into Scorpio. We get another change of the mood, and Scorpio is a water sign. It's way more intense. There's going to be a personal intensity that comes through when the moon moves into Scorpio. It's also a very intuitive energy. It's the watery sign that sees beyond the veil. It's just a very, very intuitive type of energy. Another Venus aspect on the 8th of February when it makes a square with Uranus, who is, as I mentioned, just sitting very, very still in the sky. Venus is our heart space, and a square can be a challenging aspect, okay? And Uranus, already the planet of surprise and change and revolution and awakening. So some type of challenge within our heart space, within relationships, within our financial space, where there's a bit of a surprise and we have to take action with a square. So it's going to require us to do something about that. And this is going to be the last time that Venus makes this square with Uranus while it's in Taurus. So there is something about this it's the ending point before Venus comes around and makes that next conjunction and starts that new cycle when Uranus is in a new sign. And so that's the report for the week. I was so inspired yesterday to write this poem, and so I'm going to read it to you now. This was inspired by Imbolc for sure, and that big Leo full moon. Full moon rising from the charged up waters, candles burning, flames flickering in the air. Little women on the table give their blessings, clean the aura, oh so clear. The season turns, Jupiter burns, Castor and Pollux meet them there. Bells are ringing, goddesses singing, the light inside guides me through twilight's stare. She stands with confidence, saying her prayer under the umbrella tree. A total reset and detox to my body explains the new way I dream. My eyes are more blue than ever before, and the North Star spoke my name. The North Star just spoke my name. Every twig and branch wants to open every hatch in my mind to bend the light. Every day I'll try, I'll push, and I'll fight. I'll burn up the night and watch the spiraling life. Just watch this spiraling life. Do you hear me? The lion roars, and we teach our young to continue the ancient one's chores. Now the flames stream out from every one of my pores, and I may not know where this is going to land, but I know you'll be there, those above and below, in the words that I speak and the breath that I borrow, in the breath that I borrow. Thank you so much for being tuned in to the Cosmic Community with your galactic ambassador, Stacey Dredd, and I wish you the very best. Be talking to you again soon. Take care. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.